I'm Ben with the BTC Sessions, and this is your Bullish Bit, brought to you by bitrefill.com, your one-stop shop to live on Bitcoin and Lightning. They've got all the best gift cards, things like Amazon, Apple, Best Buy, Airbnb, Uber, and much more. You can even do hotel bookings, you can do all of your travel, and you can now grab prepaid MasterCards as long as you have a US address that you can input. Check them out today, bitrefill.com. Links are down below to sign up now. Alex Gladstein invited me out to do a Bitcoin workshop and start teaching people how to set up Bitcoin wallets and so on and so forth. And I after everything was all done, I got speaking with one of the organizers and, what do you do? And I said I was one of the people on the Bitcoin track there. And they're like, oh yeah, that's all super interesting. And then she said something to the effect of, I love what it's capable of, but I also think that, there's this big push for this like bottom up approach, but like then you can't prevent the bad, like basically saying like then bad people can use it. So like a top down approach so that we can ensure that like the good people can use it. But then, and I had to go through the conversation of, well, that's not how this works, because if you have a top down approach, then effectively you've got what we have right now. And so you're canceling out, you're basically saying in countries with responsible governments, you effectively have a dragnet where you can catch all the quote unquote bad people, and then the good people get a free pass. But the inverse is true. When you have a totalitarian government, like what you guys are working to help people fight against, when you have a totalitarian government and Bitcoin is top down, not that it even could be, but if that was the case, then all of a sudden you're no longer on a level playing field. Bitcoin just, all it does is create a level playing field for all. If you have that top down approach, a totalitarian government gets to stamp out dissidents. When you have an open system where everybody's on a level playing field, you can't shut down bank accounts with a button. You can't prevent fundraising mechanisms. You can't prevent peer-to-peer transacting. You can't prevent people from railing back against a state that tries to stamp out people that doesn't approve of what they're doing. I saw it here last year. I saw it here, 14 months ago. And I'm in Canada. And they were shutting down bank accounts. And Troy, you were there in the room when I did the interview with Peter. And I chatted through the whole thing of how quickly it went from people are protesting, and within 2 weeks, they shut down 2 fundraising campaigns worth tens of millions of dollars. And started shutting down bank accounts for and might I say, a peaceful protest. Like I'm not trying to shit on motivations for various protests, but like if you look at the Canadian protests, we literally cleaned up our own garbage. And so this was a very respectful and peaceful protest. There's going to be a couple dickheads. It was the largest protest in Canadian history.
Wow.
They still shut down bank accounts. They still basically cut off people's access to any sort of banking. Bitcoin makes it so that those type of actions are impossible, whether or not you like the people using it. And that's kind of how it needs to be.